here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on site, on location. We are here inside of Avicolli's restaurant on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, right down the road from Liverpool High School. And of course, here with Liverpool Athletics every single month of the year, being able to sit down and enjoy our time with the Warriors. We are here once again with Liverpool softball. We had them at the beginning of the season, and now back here as Section 3 Class AA champions, regional champions, and fighting for a state championship. And this is part 2 of our special as we're here with Katia Flavin as well as head coach Phil DeAugustine and myself, Dan Tortora. Can we give them a round of applause? Liverpool. All right. Katia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well. Now, I want to let everybody know that off camera, not only is there this extra close gallery, but they're now on stools. Some of them are on stools, one of them is on a high chair. But what are your thoughts on this, that you now have this watching crew that has made themselves very comfortable?
Honestly, it makes me feel a little better knowing that they're right there. Not Kyle, never mind.
What is it about this team that has made this season so special in your opinion?
So I've been playing travel with majority of this team since I was really, really little, so just getting another season with them was obviously a lot of fun. Everyone gets along well.
You said everyone gets along well, but your teammates are talking about strong personalities. How do strong personalities get along so well?
I don't know. I think they balance each other out. Plus, girls like Julia know how to deal with girls like Gracie.
Girls like Julia know how to deal with girls like Gracie. Coach, what can you say about all these personalities?
Well, it's definitely been a learning experience. Coming from my first year here, there was no learning curve. I got thrown right in with them, or more than them in with me. So it's been enjoyable to learn everybody's intricacies.
I heard from Ava and Olivia that you had to get to know them. And they said, we've already known each other, we played together our whole lives, so Coach had to kind of get to know us and how we do things. Did you get a sense of that?
Oh, always. The girls are the most important part of the team. So you got to go with their personalities and what they can do and how they act, and then you got to find a balance between what us as coaches need them to do and a way to keep them happy and focus on what they need to do.
How long do you feel like it took for the team to take to you and you to take to the team?
Well, I know they loved me from the first day. That was obvious. When I told them that we weren't going to run very much, I mistakenly called them CMAs. But
are they ever going to let you live that down?
No, but it's always going to be back there. They hold a grudge.
But you've had a very, very successful season. So has that helped them to forgive you a little bit easier?
I hope so. Once they knew that they were going to have to go to school Friday and get on a charter bus, I think that evened things out.
Yeah, not a bad bet to be able to not have to go to school this Friday, and you get to go to Long Island.
Yeah.
So, Katia, bring me into that. And I know from going, and it was actually a year ago now, that I had spent a lot of time last summer in Long Island, and I realized you don't go to Long Island, you're on Long Island. Never in, but you're on.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts of being on Long Island?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to spend time with the team in the hotel and stuff. I'm just not excited for the 8-hour bus ride.
8 hour
Well,
bus
it's
ride.
about, I don't know how long it is. I guess.
About 6.
About 6.
7. Yeah.
I feel like you can do it in 4.5. Maybe not a bus.
Not on the bus.
He will get there I'll drive. You drive the bus.
Coach, who's the best driver that you would trust to drive the bus if you had to?
None of the above.
I know how to.
I would say Emily Nestor, because she doesn't drive.
Okay. All right. Katia, would you agree or not?
Probably Tristan. Tristan's careful.
That's a good
But
choice.
when she will drive, Tristan.
Why Tristan? Why did you pick?
I feel like she's always just really careful and she's responsible. So.
All right, fair enough. You heard your teammates talk about who they think is funny, who they think is serious. I want to get your thoughts on the same thing. Katia, who's the funniest person on the team? And who is the most serious individual?
Well, I'm definitely the funniest, so I don't want to hear it. No, probably Joelle. Joelle's the funniest. And the most serious would probably be Brooke. So quiet.
Coach, what would you say? Funniest personality and most serious personality?
Well, the funny, you gotta couch that in two different ways. Funny because they mean to be funny, or funny because they have no self-awareness.
Funny, let's do both. Funny on purpose and funny by accident.
Well, obviously Joelle is the team clown, but I gotta say Z makes me laugh sometimes just because I don't know what just happened or why that happened or what she said happened, so that makes me laugh.
Okay, fair enough. Who is the most serious of the bunch?
Lauren is very serious. Lauren Raganese is a very serious young lady.
All right, fair enough. We know Joelle was with us last time. She was right off camera. She asked me a lot of heartfelt questions. Can you get a sense of the heartbeat of the team when you talk with her? She seems to be an old soul and a young person. So, you know that I got your back. You know that, Joelle.
No, she's definitely somebody who's got a big understanding of the world around her and how people feel, and empathy, which for somebody her age is kind of rare.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's quite a range of personalities here, and like Katia said, they all find a way to work out with each other.
And it's funny because I've sat with Joelle and Julia, and Julia has moments where there's kindness, but then she hits you with the sarcasm. Joelle hits you with the kindness, but then she keeps it kind. So that's a nice way to do it. So I gotta give respect where respect is due. Katia, who would you go to if you were having a bad day on the team?
Definitely Joelle. Yeah. I'm sorry.
She's not nice. She's not
She is the kindest person I know.
not true.
Yes, it is.
So, being on this ride, do you have a best friend that you grew up with that's on this team?
Not to say Joelle again, but definitely Joelle or Lauren.
Joelle or Lauren?
Yeah,
Okay.
even though Lauren's travel team and my old travel team, we were rivals. But me and Lauren have always been really close, so.
In those rivalry games, how heated did it get?
Oh, like our coach, which is Naki's dad, he almost got thrown out of games. Like, it was intense.
Who usually got the better end of it?
Oh, we did. Always.
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 Okay.
Every game.
What's Lauren's face look like right now?
Probably pretty upset.
Lauren! Upset?
She's like this.
Okay. Yeah, Lauren, you just got shouted out. I think we picked that up on the microphone. I think we got that there. So, Katia, tell me something good about Coach.
Something good about Coach is he's always very positive and uplifting. Like, even when we make a mistake, I know I'm not scared because he always has our backs.
I like that. When you do make a mistake, how would you describe his handling of that?
Honestly, he's always very calm. It's Coach Ormond that, like, I'm a little nervous about.
No, do not mention his name. This is not your
Coach, tell me something good about Katia.
Well, Katia always gives me a smile when she sees me. Gives me a thumbs up. Again, that's what we're here for, work with young adults and enjoy our time with each other.
I know he's off camera, but I feel bad for how much he has been treated so poorly tonight. Can you tell me something good about Kyle?
No, he has so much
Definitely. Coach Kyle, we've loved having him here with us on this run. He's somebody else who has a lot of experience with coaching, even at a young age, and he's able to help the girls when Coach Roman and I aren't on the field. He's definitely there in the dugout, talking to them, keeping them up, and it's been nice having him with us.
Katia, for you, how would you describe how the team got here this season? To have a record at the time that we're talking of 16-6, how does this team go from the beginning and the hopes that we spoke about to where you are right now?
I would say everyone picked up their slack and would go to every single practice, every hitting opportunity, and everyone just worked really hard to get where we wanted. We all knew that we were good enough to win sectionals, and then we just followed through with that.
You said you knew that you were good enough. What made you believe at the beginning of the season that this team had it?
I think we knew because we were all very close with each other, and I'm not saying that winning all the games was easy, but we just had a sense that we were going to be a really good team.
The Section 3 Class AA championship maybe got a little bit too close for comfort.
Definitely.
Bring
yeah.
me into the game and what you remember from it.
Well, we were down the whole game, but I always knew deep down that we were going to come back, and Gracie probably knows this, but in the outfield, every single pitch, I was praying. I was like, please, please. And then when we finally tied it up, the momentum was on our side, and then going into extra innings, I just had a gut feeling that we were going to pull it off.
Coach, going back to that Section 3 Class AA championship game, what can you say about how that game went toward the end of where it could have stopped and then extra innings to decide it?
Well, and girls know this story. It's one of the first ones I told, but I'd actually been in that situation before where we were down 3 runs and we were down to our last out and last strike and came back and won. So even in that last inning, every pitch you got a chance, and the girls hung in there and they took advantage of some letdowns on the other side, and then Gracie came up with a clutch hit, and Ava Falvo was fast. I sent Ava, and looking back on the video now, it was a close play at home, but I didn't want to. It was one of those situations where you take advantage, catch them off guard. They might have thought she was stopping at third, and we sent her and tied it up.
That moment where you knew the championship was here, looking at this team, did you see it in them from the beginning?
Of course, and that's the first thing we let off with this year is talking about what our goal was. We did definitely reach a point where we were not playing well. And so, to their credit, we righted the ship. They got back on task, and obviously we're going to states because of what they've done this season.
At different points this season, we saw this Liverpool Warriors softball team lose 3 of 4 and 3 in a row. What in those moments helped the team get out of that dungeon, so to speak, to rise up? Because the 3-game losing streak was the last thing that happened before now you won 5 in a row. So in losing 3 of 4 and then 3 in a row, what was it that you feel helped this team rise above those moments?
Well, I mean, we played a real tough schedule this year, and that's the point, is to be in moments like that. Now, I'm not going to lie, I wish we had played some closer in those games, but we came away figuring out what do we need to work on and expose our weaknesses, and we worked with the girls, and they picked up the slack, and that's what got us here.
Katia, for you, when you go back to those moments of adversity, how would you describe what got you through it?
I think everyone just really wanted to win a sectional championship for Julia and Liv, our seniors, because we knew we could do it and stuff. And I remember there was one really bad loss that Coach was screaming at us after. That was the only game that he ever screamed at us. And then after that, we kind of were like, oh crap, we got to get it together. And then we did.
They say that you have to be purposeful when you have those moments where you're upset. You said Coach only screamed one time. Because you weren't used to hearing that, did that automatically kind of just kick you into gear?
I think so. I think it did. It was really we were all caught off guard, but then we realized that we were kind of disappointing him, and none of us want to do that. So,
Coach, for you to be purposeful in those moments where you want to get through to the team, how important has it been to you in your history as a coach to pick and choose those moments where you do have to show tough love, but you know that, if you scream every day, then it loses its value. So In that moment, why did you choose that moment to say, hey, I really, really need to kind of bring this in, show you this tough love, because this is when you need to see it?
That game in particular was lost on just our physical and mental play. It
For
wasn't
everybody that doesn't know into that game.
it was against Williamsville North, and we lost 14-9. That's way too many runs given up. A lot of it was errors. We didn't run the bases well. We didn't run out pop-ups. All the little things that you need to do to win a game, and we didn't do. So, yeah, I definitely picked that moment, and they might not even remember, but the night I came in and introduced myself to the program, I said there will come a time where I yell at everybody, and everybody's going to be upset, and that was my moment. We do not run for punishment. We do not do push-ups for punishment. The girls have to learn to manage themselves and get through those tough times on their own, not just having somebody always the threat of punishment coming through.
Katia, for you, that's a unique approach by a coach. To not make you run or make you do push-ups or sit-ups or something to have you feel the punishment, right? So, what can you say about how Coach D coaches and not having that? Which, I mean, I had that. When I was playing basketball, that's what we did. We ran suicides. We ran till they said stop. So to have a coach that trusts you and says, hey, you have to know what you did wrong and you have to be responsible. What does that mean to you that he puts it on the team for you guys to figure it out and work through it?
I think it develops like a new level of trust. Like he trusts us to know what we did, and we trust his style of coaching. And I mean, obviously it worked. We're going to the States games, so it's definitely a different approach, but I like it. I think it makes us have a higher responsibility.
The regional world is done. Here we go on to states. Bring me into the regional matchup, which I believe was 10-4, and just what you took away from that game.
Even though it was easier than our Beeville game, it was still hard. Like we still obviously had to do our best and stuff. And it was just a lot of fun in the dugout. Like when girls were up to bat, everyone was cheering and getting hype and stuff. And then when we won, like, I don't know, it was really an awesome feeling.
How do you stay focused right now? You know that there's a game coming up, and there's two if you want to take it all home. How do you stay humble and how do you stay focused?
You just, I don't know, you just keep working like at practice. That 2 hours of practice, you gotta just dial in and get the reps in. And then, like this, like Coach said to us today, like this is the fun part, like the pizza and like the hotel and stuff, but you gotta just lock in for the games.
Playing an early game on a Saturday morning, do you feel like that's something that you're comfortable with, that you're excited about? Is this a team that you feel can get at it early?
I'd say a lot of us are used to early morning games because of travel ball and stuff. It is obviously hard because I mean, I'm not really a morning person, and I don't think many girls on this team are, but I think we could definitely do it.
Coach, how do you feel about the fact that this game on Long Island on Saturday, June 11th, is going to be at 9 a.m.? So what do you have to do or adjust to make sure that this team, or do you adjust anything to make sure that the team is ready and fluid and loose for a 9 a.m. start?
Well, the most important thing will be able to get them on the bus on time. Once I get them on the bus, then everything else will fall into place. We've already had to schedule what we're going to feed them in the morning, give them something to drink so they get off the bus to warm up. But you gotta, it's the same for the other team. So now the other team is probably driving from home to the game while we're leaving from a hotel. But this is something that the girls are used to doing, getting up early, going to play early.
Your thoughts of being able to rep Liverpool on Long Island?
Oh, it's very exciting. Only 2 Section 3 teams qualified for sectional for the states, I should say. And yeah, it's going. I have some friends who live down there who are going to come see us. And it's just neat for the girls who've never been down on the island to get that experience of seeing part of New York that maybe some of them have never seen before.
before we jump into rapid fire, Katia, I want to get your thoughts on the fact that you get to rep the Warriors on Long Island. There's so many people there. It's obviously a place that has built a good reputation when it comes to the world of sports. So what does it mean to you to be able to be there and have the L on your chest down on Long Island?
I'm super excited. I mean, this is going to be a great confidence boost for all of us. We're all super young. There's 5 starting sophomores and stuff, so this is just the beginning of us. And I'm super excited that we all get this opportunity to just be participating in state games.
Coming from Katia Flavin as well as Coach D, myself, Dan Tortora. We are here inside of Avicolli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, right down the street from Liverpool High School. We appreciate you supporting local business, local teams, and of course, Wake Up Call is here every single month with the Liverpool Warriors athletic programs. Big shout out to Ari Lieberman and everyone in athletics at Liverpool. With that being said, it's time to jump into rapid fire. Katia, you get the first question. For me, what do you got?
Was this always your dream job?
I have a bunch. So I have worked in acting, and I've been able to be in a movie as an extra in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I would like to be in a movie where I could speak. That'd be nice, but acting, directing, really directing anything, a TV show, a movie. There's a lot of things I want to do. Comedy has always been a part of my life, and music is really the first thing I got into when I was 3. So this is one of the many things I want to do, but I am in love with it. And you really do realize very quickly in life if you love it or if you think you love it. And that's in a friendship, that's in romance, that's in a job. You realize really quickly, I love this or I think I do. Because when you get knocked down, if you love it, you bounce right back up and you're hungry. If you think you love it, you get knocked down and you think, should I just stay here? Every time I got knocked down, and every time I will get knocked down, I laugh when people throw me in the fire now, because like the Hulk, I feel like I just get bigger. So I almost welcome somebody throwing me in the fire. I smirk to it now, and I think that this team should take that too. Take a chip on your shoulder, let them throw you into the fire, and learn how to get a tan from it. That's what I would say. So my first question for you, Katia, is who do you consider to be your biggest role model and why?
Well, my biggest role model is probably my grandma, because she just has the purest soul. She's such a sweetheart, and I love everything about her. I hope I can be half as good as a person she is when I'm older.
What's grandma's name?
Corrine.
What is it?
Corrine.
Corrine? So shout out to Corrine. Thank you for being an awesome grandma. I am the grandson of 2 awesome grandmas, so I will tell you, having my grandparents all passed on, hug them, give them a kiss, call them up, text them, whatever you do, if they're hip to texting. But I would tell you with all seriousness, every time you give her a hug and a kiss, go do it again. Because you're never going to regret running back into the house and doing it again. Coach, what do you got for me?
If you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
I have 2 answers for this. I would be a lion because of Daniel and the Lion's Den, so I've always felt a connection to that. King of the Jungle, I like it. So I would be a lion, or I would be a dog because they are man's best friend. They're extremely loyal, and I feel like dogs figured out a long time ago what people have never figured out, which is how to love, how to keep loving, and how to work together and just be kind. Every day my dog greets me with a wagging tail and a smile. If I'm having a bad day, same. Good day, same. There's something to be said about an animal that gets it better than we do, and I learn from Lily every single day. My question for you, Coach, if you had to switch lives with an actor today, which actor would you want to switch lives with, and which movie would you want to be in?
Tom Hanks is my guy.
Okay.
I really do like Tom Hanks.
All right.
And my favorite movie of his is Forrest Gump. And because he never judges others, he always sees the good in people no matter how bad they can be. And I think if we could all do that every day, we'd be a little kinder all the way around.
Similar answers with different questions from us. All right, Katia, what's your last one for me?
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Well, I've lived there before, and it's the second home of the show. And I would say Florida. I have family there. I have 2 nieces there. My best friend is there, Evan. Shout out to Ev. My other mom and dad, I call them Papa Joe and Mary, are down there. And I worked at Disney, so you know it's been home for me for a long time. And if you want to know how true it is as home, I am going to Florida in 2 weeks, and it'll be my 3rd time since February. So I definitely like going back to another home of mine. All right, Katia. If you had to pick a teammate that you believe, actually, if you had to pick 2 teammates that would go on stage in a comedy tour and battle against each other every night, which 2 teammates would you pick, and who do you think would win the head-to-head comedy?
I think Brooke and Z would go against each other,
That's good.
and I'm pretty sure Gracie would humiliate Brooke.
Is that exciting?
All right, fair enough.
Comedy? Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
I got it right now. I've been literally comedy. I'm comedy over here. What you guys want to talk?
Gracie says she's comedy.
All right, Coach, what's your last one for me?
If you could coach any sport, what would that be?
That's a good question, and honestly, I'd be open to coaching anything. So, but I played basketball my whole life, and football is another one that I would really love to coach because I've gotten to know a lot of my close friends are in the coaching profession in football, and so we actually just had one of our friends pass away, and Fred Reed, and he was the DB coach here at Syracuse under Scott Schaefer, and he went on to Eastern Michigan. I think he was there for 7 years. This might have been year 8, and he passed away suddenly at 54. And I found that out on Mother's Day. So I would definitely get into coaching because some of my closest friends are in it with football. But basketball, I know like the back of my hand. So I'd probably say that. All right, Coach, my last one for you. If you could sit and have dinner with any 3 coaches, could be any sport, but if you could sit with any 3 coaches, living or deceased, right now, what 3 coaches would you have dinner with and why?
I do enjoy, I've seen Patty Gasso talk many times, the head coach of Oklahoma.
Okay.
I'd like to sit down with her. I'd like to sit down with Coach Ormond.
You said you didn't pay for dinner yesterday.
He's lying. Coach Ormond, who I coached with, I've been with for, this is our 25th year together. He definitely, we bounce off of each other. We're not the same coaches by any means, but when we coach together, we've had nothing but success doing that. And probably thirdly, I'd like to sit down with Billy Martin. I've read a lot about him, a lot of stories about him, and he's a character. And he's the one who taught me my favorite hitting thing with the girls. I always tell them to hit it to the second baseman or the shortstop, and that was one of his things. He always teaches players if they want to hit line drives, you got to look the opposite way.
I like that. So, great answer, well thought of. So you definitely, I feel like you already knew that dinner that you would have. So with that being said, we are very happy to support Liverpool Athletics right here at Avicolli's and always on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We're here every single month with Liverpool Warriors Athletics. And of course, Liverpool High School down the road. Avicolli is the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. For Katia Flavin, for Coach D, for myself, Dan Tortora, for Olivia, as well as Ava and the entire team, Section 3 Class AA champs, regional champs, and league champions, and we're fighting for a state championship. Ladies and gentlemen, you have my word that if and when that happens, Coach, bring them on back home. But we proudly support Liverpool softball, and like I said, thanks to Coach D, this is my first Liverpool shirt to the softball team. Thank you all. Give a round of applause.